Hello everyone, Thursday, May the 4th. Back to the regular set of readings, Acts of the Apostles, chapter 13. So Paul and his companions sailed from Paphos and came to Perga and Pamphylia. Basically, they go into the synagogue, and one of them, a synagogue official, sent a message saying, brothers, if you have any word of exhortation for the people, give it. This was a custom. So Paul stands up and he basically preaches the word to them. All right, and he goes through the history of Israel very succinctly, and then he comes to the point where at least for today's reading, it ends with John the Baptist. John had already proclaimed the baptism of repentance to all the people of Israel, and as John was finishing his work, he said, "What do you suppose that I am? I am not he. No." But one is coming after me, I am not worthy to untie the thong of the sandals of his feet. So of course he's going to be John will point to Jesus. So there are many things we can kind of extrapolate or borrow from in this first reading from the Acts. One is that, first of all, we should be familiar with what Paul is talking about just by reading the readings of the day, reading them over and over and over again. I'm not saying memorize it, but have a familiarity with it. That Jesus, all the scriptures led up to Jesus. So Paul lays this out for us. And I love this particular teaching that he says, in his testimony about David, God said, I have found David, son of Jesse, to be a man after my heart, who will carry out all my wishes. That's something that you and I should take to ourselves, whether you're a man or woman. Pray that God will help you to be a man or woman after his own heart. Every single day. I pray that prayer every day. But we should be willing to, when the opportunity arises, maybe a coffee clutch, it may be social, when something comes up about religion or God or whatever, and just don't let people trash the Catholic faith. Don't let them speak ill of it, because a lot of this is in ignorance, and if it is with knowledge, usually it's a lot of prejudice involved. There's not making distinctions, because there is problems on a human level in the church, but the church itself has no problems. The divine constitution of the church with the creed, the sacraments, commandments, and prayer is absolutely perfect. It's of divine origin. But you and me, we're problematic in the church. So these distinctions have to be made. We have to be willing to defend and to explain. And that's really important for all of us. So remember that. Paul stood up, talked about Christ. It's not the same, but at least when the opportunities are there, you and I need to defend Christ and his church as well. Okay, over to the Gospel of John. After Jesus had washed the feet of the disciples, he returned to the table and said, very truly, I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them. So Jesus is giving us here a supreme model of service. So if you wonder, depends on who's listening to this, but even if you are someone who really gives of yourself, to people around you, your church community, perhaps aspects to your secular community as well, here in Vancouver where I live, to some community group, but particularly to your church group, because assuming most of the people listening to this are going to church, or at least, they're open to going to church. I hope so. The model for us is not each other, but the model for us is Jesus Christ, who actually performed these acts of service. In this particular case, washing the feet of the disciples was the task of the lowest servants in the house. And Jesus does it to really give a profound teaching that the apostles are called to be men of service. Of course, by extension, all of us, men and women, are called to be children of God who are of service. So if you are of service, this will help you to kind of be more grounded or rooted in why you should serve, why you should keep serving. Perhaps you need to look for a different thing to serve in. If you're not serving, to spark you to want to serve. Because Jesus served you, and he serves me. He just didn't serve in the past by instituting the sacraments, but he continues to serve you by, walking with you, sustaining you, making available his word to you, and so on, and helping you in ways that many of us are not even comprehending. So we should be motivated to want to give because Christ has given us absolutely everything. Really try to remember this and ask Jesus, Lord, you gave me everything. How can I serve? Where can I serve in my community? God bless you.